¿Este tu año de compromiso?
Sí.
Oh, te había dado uno mucho más grande.
You and I are on the same page on what we want in life. And you look really sexy in that green dress. To me, it just seems like an obstacle at this point.
Family Chantel, Family Chantel is a mess. A whole mess. But
let's get it on
let's get into it, you guys. It is Mary.
And
we invite you guys to like,
subscribe,
and comment down below, y'all, because we are just going to go ahead and talk about one of the private investigator. Y'all forgive us. My cat is in heat, so she is yelling and disturbing the peace. This is her 4th time in heat.
She is calling her boyfriend.
Yes, she has an orange cat that has been stalking our property, jumping the fence, and all this stuff to come see her. But we will not be encouraging any extracurricular activities. Not in this household. She is a domesticated cat. She is not a street cat. But yes. Let's go ahead and get back to what we were actually talking about. But let's talk about
Family Chantel.
Karen. I don't think she should be hiring a PI. I think one, maybe
just
she's doing it for the show, but like you can't protect her anymore. Like you can maybe prevent her from even.
Years old. She's gonna do what she needs to do.
I know, and like she's already done with Pedro. This is my baby girl. Yeah. She's already done with Pedro. Why are we hiring private investigators for your ex-husband? Where do they do that at? Like, actually, where do they do that at? Right? So I feel like that one is a no-no. But I am happy for Chantel. She said she's young, she's hot, and he can't take that from her.
I know.
I'm happy that she's having people reach out to her or whatever.
She's realizing that. I know.
But I'm happy that she's realizing that even though we had NFL players, baseball players, and all these famous people reaching out to her, which was a huge confidence boost for her, she's realizing I'm not emotionally available for any man right now.
She wants to heal.
That's what she needs to do.
Her.
You know, because it'll be
for her.
Yeah, you would go on a date with one of these rich guys or whatever stuff, and they might not have good intentions or whatever, and break your heart, and that messes you up. I'm just happy she stayed away. Yeah. And she easily could have become a housewife and just be like, well, screw my nursing job. But she's there being a nurse. Now she is doing Botoxing. Like, that has always been her dream job. She's now doing that now. I see from her Instagram.
Good for her.
Like, she is living her best life.
Good for her.
And she's gone back to pole dancing, like pole fitness.
Yeah,
like
to boost her confidence and stuff.
I seriously admire it.
That's pole dance. Listen, there was a time I did go pole dancing. Nobody knows, but there was a time I went. You know where that barber was at the top, where I used to take your brother to go to the barber. At the top, there was like some exotic dance.
That's where you went.
That's where I surely went.
When was this?
Years ago.
We were born.
You guys were like teenagers.
You're lying. Who you go with?
By myself. I just happened to see one day.
Did you actually dance?
I surely did.
You wore an outfit and everything. Did you have the heels?
I was there.
Listen, I'm gonna go and talk to my mom about it. I'm gonna get all the juicy details.
That was very interesting going there. And yes, I can see how that can be a confidence boost. You know, it makes you feel. I wasn't doing it for I wasn't in any relationship, but it just makes you feel sexy. It makes you feel good, and then it makes you feel fit, and you know.
Personally, I actually really admire women who can really like do pole fitness, like in pole dance or whatever. Because my thing is,
see how she was there, then fell back. I was like, is that Chantel?
I can't even do a push-up. Like if I had to jump a fence to get away from the police, I could not do it. Like my upper body strength, my upper body strength is in the gutter. So when I see women who can use their arms and pull up and all this stuff, I'm like, wow.
And then like, do leg movement too.
Right?
It's a lot of work. It'll have you sweating up a storm. But you'll be surprised. There are women out there who are big women. They can move on that pole.
You'll see them on
TikTok.
TikTok.
Is so strong. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
It is not again. So I love that for her. I love to see that. But I feel like, what's her name? Karen should just leave well enough alone. Like,
I love Karen being at the pole fitness thing, like in her little shorts. Yeah. Like Karen is shaped very well. I know her husband is very happy. He a very happy man. Yeah, this is my life.
All of the women in that house have very nice shape. They have like that hourglass shape.
Oh yeah.
That they get from their mama.
Yeah. Winter, everybody. Very blessed family.
But I just feel like she should just let it go. Let him sell the house. Yeah. You've already sold his things. Well, be done with it. Move on. If you want to go for vacations together, that's great. He'd love to see it, but...
Pedro, nightmare, because he's saying, no, I don't want to sell the house for that low price. I want something higher. Because, like, I feel like he's trying to
keep Chantel in his area.
And he wants to pay her back because she's not letting him get the commission.
That's just it. I mean, you said 7 years, you called her evil, right? This woman has been
Why should she do you any favors? For real.
This woman has done nothing but be good to this man.
Nothing but love you.
Without her, your family will not even, all that new teeth and stuff.
All that facial work your mama has, that new weave.
Please.
Y'all would have none of that.
You will be right there back in the DR, never even sniffed the shore of the U.S. Yeah. But because of her, that's why you all are here. And good on her that she told him that too.
And my thing is also, Chantel did not have to choose Pedro. She could have been with anybody else. She could have been with an American. My thing is, I feel like the only reason why she went and did the show is because it would have been another source of income for them. And she needed it because she was working 2-3 jobs to bring him over here. Mm-hmm. So I know there was one of our subscribers who said, well, let's not act like Chantel didn't need Pedro for the show.
She didn't need Pedro to go on the show.
I feel like she would have never had to go on the show and embarrass herself. No. I think she only did it because she was another source of income.
She was already working. Chantel was already working. Like her mom said, she was working 2-3 jobs to pay for Pedro. You know how expensive it is to bring somebody up here? Yeah. She probably paid just as much as she did for even being on the show.
And my thing is, Chantel does not strike me as somebody who really wants the limelight at all.
Did she start in 90 Day Fiancé first, though?
Yeah. The fact that
then they had their own show.
Right.
So how did they get their own show? You know?
In my case, I feel like also, if Chantel does not strike me as somebody who wants the limelight, because this is a girl who could easily go and be a social media influencer.
And actually, I think she became that though too, because she has brands.
She's actually really not even on Instagram like that.
Yeah, but she had in the beginning, like she had brands and all that stuff.
Yeah, but she's not doing it like that's her only job. Like this woman is working she's a nurse. Like she is still doing 9 to 5 times. Like if you were on a TV show, you have that exposure. Like we have seen so many 90-day alums who have basically quit their jobs and they're basically like, I'm gonna be a social media influencer. Exactly. This is not somebody who wants the limelight. So I don't think that she wants it. Like she is working a 9 to 5. Like she is wearing a uniform and going to serve people, doing Botox and doing nursing.
Yeah.
Like, and then also with all the NFL players and baseball players, if she really wanted that lifestyle, she could have easily been on a date. We could have easily seen her with Drake.
Be in the bleachers right there, so guys can see her. Hello, hello.
Exactly. So I don't
and be somebody's housewife by now.
Exactly. So I don't feel like she is that type of person or whatever. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about Karima and Pedro's erectile dysfunction. This is the issue. When you're oversexed. Like men, I know they be saying that, oh men, they have to be with other women, they have to go forth and multiply. Your weenie go down. Your weenie stop working when you do all that stuff.
That's why I don't believe that Pedro was no virgin. I'm sorry. You already have erectile dysfunction in your early 30s.
And you're a virgin?
And you were a virgin?
How that work?
Up until your early 20s?
How that work?
No, Pedro. You were out there dogging it out in the DR. That's exactly what you did. And that guy was right when he says your family were scammers.
And my thing is, also the mom has said, even the sister has said, even your sister and mom has said on several occasions, the men cheat like their life depends on it. So I mean, you a virgin until you were 30, please miss me.
Yeah, miss me with that. Miss me with that lie. Tell it to someone who wants to believe you, not me. And then Karima,
I'm happy that she has found
she's engaged. She was not pressed for him. I love that.
Yeah.
I love when a woman was all over the guy and then he didn't want her.
Back.
Then he wants to slither back and she already got somebody. She's like,
sorry.
He looked at the ring like, ooh.
Oh, okay. I could have got you a bigger one.
No, you probably could not have. Yeah. And even if you did, please keep it pushing.
Well, he probably would not have because anyway, let me not go there.
Well, he also can be really awful, so I don't see him doing that anyway.
Yeah, but let's talk about Scott.
And look at how he led with money.
Yeah.
As if because you can get a bigger one, I should leave my fiance that I love and come to you. And in that vein, do I honestly believe you'll treat me good? No, you'll say you came here for that bigger ring.
I'm sorry, that's a nice ring.
And look down on me. Yeah.
I think any ring that you can see from a couple feet or from a few feet away is a good ring.
It is.
You don't want some ring where you don't see much. You know what I'm saying? You want something where it will glisten. So when a man, when it comes, say, hey baby, you look good. Talk to the hand. I'm a taking woman. And I'm taking, you have to have a ring that says I'm a woman who's taken care of. My man takes care of me. Yes. Okay? Don't do that tiny stuff.
It is so funny. The other day I saw this, going off topic a little bit. The other day I saw this woman. She was in like a Mercedes. It was some fancy car. I don't know if I'm Mercedes, but it's one of the very, very expensive cars.
I think you showed me that
short,
how the
right? The guy who comes around and asks, like, what do you do for a living? And so he went and he asked the lady, like, what does she do for a living? And she was like, did she say she was like a homemaker?
No, she's I'm a housewife.
Yeah.
She laughed so juicily.
And she laughed so juicily. She's like, oh, I am a housewife. And he asked the guy, he's like, what do you do for a living? And he didn't want to say. And he's like, yeah, I'm in IT. And he was like, oh, yeah. But she was the one driving the car.
Yes.
I was like, you go, girl. I love it. I love when the man got the money, but he has the woman driving his car.
That means he cares about her.
He cares
it's
about
not
her.
A man who's an a-hole, oh, I'm making the money, and you must
I
do whatever
will drive, because let me tell you, I know of someone. The husband works. Mm-hmm. The wife also works. She makes a little less than the husband. But the husband drives the Mercedes. The wife's car is always breaking down. And always having to ask for rides. And always having to have her car in the garage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I have to go. One day I saw her with a Mercedes. I was like, oh, you got a Mercedes? You will have a Mercedes now? Oh, that's because I got to go pick him up. Take him to the airport. And he refuses to drive in the wife's beat-up car. So she got to drive his car, the Mercedes, to the airport and drive it back to the house and leave the Mercedes in the garage and go back to driving her little hoopty. Can you imagine? Look, think of this also different. Got another friend. We all worked in the same building. He got like the beat-up Lexus. The wife got the Mercedes-Benz. And when the wife has to go get gas or get oil change, he will take her Mercedes and go get it so that she never has to do that on her own. Okay, that's the one who was like the civilization
ends when the woman's outside of the house. When the woman's outside
working. Yeah. Everywhere was
and like, it's true.
How you have that woman out working? And she got 2 kids, and he's just like, she works a lot. She's at home. She works so much more than me. Like, just the 2 mentalities, So, yeah.
But yes, let's also, let's talk about Scott. I feel like Scott is an a-hole. This woman is learning English for you immediately. It's not a Scott. It's Scott. It's not a Scott. Don't say a Scott. Scott the hottie, Scott the body. You are not hot, and you do not have a body. Zen.
I was like, he is actually quite rude. I don't even know if he even likes Lidia.
And then she's like, he's my only she said that he's my only thing for love, like my closest thing I found for love so far.
Oh boy. And so then you have to sit there and take all his BS, Oh, it is awful. I worry for Lidia because if she doesn't take care, like, this man will break her heart. He really will break her heart. And then she seems to me to be falling way too fast. Like, you don't even know this guy. You've not even vetted him, Lidia. And you're, like, falling for him way too fast. You're not being discerning at all. And at your big age of 50-something, like, you got to be better.
Well, how can she be discerning when she's allowing her son to go and scam women? You get what you get when you're a bad person. Sorry. It is what it is. And then you're telling your son, pick one, reject another, pick one, reject another. Is that not what Scott's doing to you?
Well, karma gonna come. And guess what? Scott has watched you. See? He has watched you all these years.
You and the scammy family. And then also talking about how, I want to be with an American. A man who will come and tell you your dress is an obstacle. An obstacle. What the hell does that mean?
He's going to rip it away?
Like, I mean, really?
Is that some essay stuff? Like, is that what he's going to be about? Like, it's a weird thing It's a weird noun to use in that sense. You're dressed up.
And then also when she closed the door, whatever, he was like what is that? To the cameraman, like just a sleaze ball, a whole sleaze ball. Then you have a man who will go and fight your kids. People, they get clapped. And then like yelling. And then like getting in his face. I came to talk to you. I came to talk to you.
Oh
you don't want to talk?
So you
and then pushes Pedro.
Pedro.
Yes, because you are a big man with big muscles. So now you want to fight the scrawny son. Why?
Crazy.
And then now her daughter pouring water on the man, and then she's like, "What are you doing? Actually, this is."
Oh, that was Pedro holding.
Yes, because she was ready to pour water on him. Apparently, she hired a spy to go and see what he was doing. I'm sorry, God don't like ugly, and karma is a mother, and it's coming for y'all.
It's coming for all of them.
And it's coming for the head honcho of the mama. You can't let your son go scam a woman and think that you're going to have some peaceful life. Karma is a real thing. The spiritual world is a real thing.
Yes.
It's a real thing. Okay? So, that's all I got to say on that. But, what's happening on the next one? Chantel is going out with some guy with his shirt that's buttoned down all the way to his navel. You should have gone out with the baseball player before you going out with some guy with his shirt down to his navel, looking like he ain't got money for clothes. Like,
on the first date?
I know, and then she's like, I'm hoping for somebody with a good package. And then you see her look down at his package. The man looks kind of short, a little scrawny. I would have taken. I would have gone.
Do not go by height. That's for damn sure.
Don't listen to
because
me.
sometimes
okay, I have my vices.
The oldest, the tallest men are the ones who have the tiniest package, and sometimes the skinny. Anyway, I am a nurse, so the largest one I have seen that's naturally large has been for someone who is slim and average height. And
well, he wasn't tall. He was average, and he was skinny.
Not whatever. Yeah. So don't go by height and all that stuff, because you will be fooled. That's all I can say.
Yes. Well, anyway, the next episode should be quite interesting. Okay. Alma just gave you some prime advice from her years in the nursing.
Do not go by that. That's all I got to say. Because you will be disappointed, and your face will tell it all, and then the man will feel bad. So don't go by it. Don't go by that, girl.
Oh, wow.
Anywho,
but it's Mary
and Alma.
We want y'all to like,
subscribe,
comment down below.
Bye.